we're trying something new this week and I hope it's going to make me feel like a whole new woman. Good morning everyone and welcome to a brand new weekly vlog. My name is Astrid and I vlog every single week of my life. This is week number 35 and if you watched last week's vlog you will know that right at the end I kind of came to a little bit of a realisation that I've not been looking after myself very well, and I said to you guys that what I wanted to do to combat that in this, like, do you know what I mean when I say September feels like you're on the home stretch to the end of the year, and I don't really know how that's happened because 2024 feels like it has absolutely flown. But I said in last week's vlog that this year has been a really hard year for me in a lot of ways, and I want to turn this ship around. Like, I've been, not looking after myself very well. I feel like I've been actually quite burnt out in terms of my work, and I haven't even really realised. Like, I obviously do social media as a job and these vlogs have been great, but in terms of Instagram and TikTok, I just have not been able to force myself to post. Well, it's not the posting, it's like the filming. I like couldn't come up with any ideas or any motivation, and that's not because I don't like my job. I love my job, but I think that is just part of getting burnt out, isn't it? And when there's so much other stuff going on behind the scenes, it's really easy for that like creative part of your brain to just stop working. So I'm going to challenge myself this week to try and break through that a little bit, because I think I've got myself into a bit of a cycle about feeling really negative about it, and that meaning that I can't break out of it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this week basically at the end of last week's vlog I said that I was going to set I was going to set myself a challenge this week of every day giving myself 3 things that help present me and 3 things that help future me as my like to-do list for the day. But as I've kind of sat over the weekend and thought about that a little bit more, I've realised that those things are actually really difficult to distinguish. Like, certain things I can't figure out whether it would be a future me thing or a present me thing. Like, for example, tidying the desk of doom in my bedroom, that benefits both of those parties. But so I think instead of that, what I'm going to try and do this week, I'm changing my own rules a little bit, is try and consistently make decisions that future me will be like grateful for. So I washed my hair yesterday, so I didn't have to do it on a weekday when I tend to be busier. So that was kind of the beginning. I've gotten up early even when I was tired, and if I want to go to bed early later then I will. But normally I am really bad at eating breakfast. Whenever I show you guys breakfast, that is pretty much the only time I eat it, just because I forget or I don't prioritize it. But I know that that means that by lunchtime I'm absolutely starving, and it also probably means I'm not the most productive in the mornings. So I was going to make myself one of my banana and Biscoff milkshakes, but then I went through and asked Charlie if he wanted anything when I went to Sainsbury's, and he said he wanted a yoghurt. And then that made me think, actually, I'm not going to do a milkshake. I'm going to do a bit of yoghurt, a bit of granola. I'm going to chop up some banana. I've got some juice. I'm going to have a peppermint tea as well, and we're going to start the week off right with like a good breakfast. So I have got the Onken mango, papaya and passion fruit yogurt. I actually used to eat this all the time when I was in like 6th form in college, and I haven't had it in years. So I'm going to do a few big spoonfuls of this. This morning while I was getting ready, I watched Only Murders in the Building, and I forget how much I love that show. Like, I remember when it first started years ago, I was really excited about it because I love Selena Gomez, but the first episode I was like, I can't really work out what the tone of this is meant to be. Like, it's a bit weird, but actually now I love it because I love like true crime shows. I watch a lot of like TV shows and films that are all about like death. But sometimes they feel a bit heavy, and sometimes I go, oh no, I can't watch that right now, I'm not in the right mood or whatever. But actually, because Only Murders in the Building is like, just gonna chop up some bananas, yeah, because Only Murders in the Building is so like light-hearted in tone, it means that like it's a show that I really enjoy, but it doesn't feel too heavy. So like, I wouldn't really watch a true crime documentary while getting ready in the morning. I just feel like it sets the wrong vibe for the day. But Only Murders in the Building, I definitely would watch that. Oh my god, these are like perfect bananas, by the way. This is my perfect banana. Little bit green, no bruises. And yeah, they're on season 4 now, and I'm really enjoying season 4 actually. I think it's been my favourite season so far. I'm only 3 episodes in, but season 3 I also really enjoyed. They've now got like loads of huge celebrities in it, like Meryl Streep and Eugene Levy and who else? Eva Longoria, like loads of huge celebrities. But the last one was based around a musical that they were trying to get on Broadway. So obviously I loved that even more. I feel like the other day I looked up who wrote something, and then I found out that they also wrote all the music for season 3 of Only Murders in the Building. Was it? I think it might have been Pasek and Paul who wrote Dear Evan Hansen, The Greatest Showman, La La Land. I think they also wrote some of the music for that. I could be wrong, but that's who's springing to mind. Now I've got some of this Jordan's Super Nutty Granola with almonds, hazelnuts and Brazil nuts. I don't think I've ever had this one, but it looks pretty good. Yogurt, granola, gonna pop some banana on top of there. Another TV show that I really liked for the same reason of like, it hit a lot of those like big drama points while still feeling quite light-hearted was, well, Pretty Little Liars, but let's be honest, the ending of that was so disappointing that it's actually completely like tarnished my memory of it, which is such a shame because it's my favourite show for so long. But then during the pandemic I saw like one tweet that told me that Desperate Housewives is like the adult equivalent of Pretty Little Liars, and I've literally never run to Disney Plus so fast in my life, because I feel like I've been searching for an adult equivalent of Pretty Little Liars literally longer than I've been alive. And oh my god, I was absolutely hooked. That's another one that's like really good. I just don't like things that feel too like fluffy and nice. I like a bit of drama. Desperate Housewives really ticked all those boxes, which is funny actually, because like I just said, Eva Longoria is now in this season of Only Murders in the Building, so they all tie together. Okay, I'm just gonna have this for now, and then I'm gonna make myself a peppermint tea when I sit down at my desk. Okay, Charlie and I are actually about to run out to do like a quick fun errand to start the day, but while he's in the shower I've been taking some thumbnails. This is what I mean, trying to help out future me, because I always forget to take the thumbnails whenever I do videos on my beauty channel. Not that I've done any in ages. If you don't know, I have a separate channel on YouTube called Amy Astrid Beauty, where I have like a load of different makeup and skincare reviews. And last year, I think, oh no, it wasn't quite the last video I posted, but I did a couple of advent calendar unboxings, like beauty advent calendars, and I loved it. So I'm doing some more this year, starting off with the MAC one, which I'm going to film today, and I've been putting it off for ages, so I'm very proud of myself for like biting the bullet with it, even though there's definitely other things that I should be prioritising. But I think if I keep putting this off I will just never get it filmed, and then it'll be like too late, because this is the time of year when people do start thinking about like, if you're going to buy yourself like a fairly expensive beauty advent calendar, I don't know, I always start thinking about it around this time of year. So, and these videos are always basically to help people make the right decision about whether an advent calendar is like worth it for them. So I need to get it out ASAP, and I keep putting it off because something else always seems more important. But I'm just going to film one today so I can edit it and get it up, and maybe I'll film a couple more throughout the week, but this is a good start. So I've just done the thumbnail for that, and I've got everything set up so that as soon as I come home from the fun errand that we're running, I'll be like set up and ready to film, and that is taking care of future me. This is going well so far. So Charlie's here, he's about to drive.
Morning.
I'm being passenger princess today. Basically, in last week's vlog, you might remember, I said that I needed to sort out the giveaway winner for the giveaway from a few weeks ago. Everything got completely, like, everything just ran away with me. I got ill and then we went away and blah blah blah. I spun the wheel last week, the giveaway winner came up. I messaged her on Instagram and I saw that in the photo that she'd posted on her story of her watching the vlog, which is obviously what you had to do to enter the giveaway, she was watching the vlog with her dog, and Diesel was very cute, so we've decided to pop something in the box for Diesel. So I asked her what his favourite treat is, and now we're going to Pets Home to pick it up before we post the box off. We found them. They didn't have any in Sainsbury's, but these are Diesel's favourite, the Wag Treats peanut butter and banana ones. Very cute. Okay, I've just filmed the advent calendar unboxing. I'm in shock. This advent calendar is genuinely the best advent calendar I have ever seen. Like, all of the products in here are sensational. There are maybe 4 or 5 that I don't think I'll use all the time. Maybe even less than that, actually. This is making me really want to do like a big makeup declutter. Makeup is on the wheel, so I'm hoping to get through quite a few on the wheel this week. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that one of them spins makeup, because I've got so many new lipsticks and stuff in here that I actually feel like I'll be really brutal with the old ones. Right, okay, my next job is I'm just going to quickly do a few emails, because while I was recording that, loads of stuff has come through, and then I need to film the like product cutaways to everything that was in this. This will probably go out hopefully before this vlog, so if you do want to see what's in the advent calendar, I will link it in the description. I was going to jump around and do a load of different things today, but I've actually decided to change my strategy up a little bit, really out of focus, and just do one thing until it's finished, but do it well. So I'm still working on the advent calendar stuff. I filmed the like main bit for YouTube, then I filmed it for TikTok or Instagram. It's gone on TikTok already, I can't decide whether to post it on Instagram. And then I also did the like cutaways. Charlie helped me with those, and now I'm gonna start editing it, because rather than just like, what's the word, like collecting videos that I filmed but not edited and then getting really stressed about how much editing I have to do, I'm just gonna try and stay on top of things.
Was that after our conversation the other day?
Yeah, so I've popped out to get myself a lunch that I absolutely love. Normally I eat it in, but there's like a coffee shop near me that does really good sandwiches. So this is salmon flakes and tarragon. I don't even know what tarragon is. It's like a spice, isn't it? But I don't know what else I've ever had it in. But it is really good. So I'm going to sit here and eat this for a minute and then head back to my editing. It is much, much later now, and I've been stuck in an editing hole for like most of the day. But it is almost done now. And in the meantime, basically Charlie and I have eaten out a lot recently. So we've decided that this week we really want to make a bit more of an effort to cook at home. Charlie's just whipped up something that looks absolutely sensational. Look at this spaghetti bolognese with parmesan and everything. You are a chef, and I appreciate it a lot. Oh my god. Is it good?
Well, when I was cooking it, it was insane. 10/10.
Good morning everyone, it is Tuesday today, and I'm now on my way to a part of London that I don't go to very often, to meet a friend for brunch who I haven't seen in ages. Well, I did see her briefly a couple of weeks ago when I went to see Six, you might remember in the vlogs. It's because my friend Hannah was in it, and we have been trying to find a time to go for a coffee and a catch up for so long. Genuinely, oh no, it's been more than 2 weeks since I went to see Six. I think it's been 4, because we have arranged something every single one of those weeks, and one of us has cancelled every time. But today, I think we might have actually managed it, which is a miracle. I tried to film my outfit for Instagram before I came out. We're meeting at 10, which meant that I needed to leave just after 9. So I was like, right, okay, I can't do much. Like, I won't have time to do a big task, but I could just film my outfit as I put it on. But then I had so much stuff in the way of my like filming space. Then I couldn't figure out the angle for the camera. And this is such like a non-problem, but when you film a reel of yourself getting dressed, obviously you then have to sit there and edit it and watch it over and over and over again. And so like, if you don't feel like 10 out of 10 in it, it can really, well, I find it can really mess with my head. I don't mean if I don't feel 10 out of 10. I rarely feel 10 out of 10. But like, if I feel like I look not great, I have a really bad time editing it. Basically. But it's such a non-problem, I know that, but it's like a self-esteem thing, isn't it? So it's a bit of a game to play with the camera angle, so that you're not like too underneath, so you don't have too much of a double chin, and it needs to be fairly flat on. But in a room that's not really wide enough to do that, it's quite a challenge, because in an ideal scenario my tripod would be further away from me, but I can't get it further away because the room's not big enough. So, but the problem is that if the camera ends up at a weird angle, you kind of look like you're in a funhouse mirror, you know, the ones that make you look like really wide or just like a strange shape. It kind of looks like that. So I was trying to figure that out, and I just couldn't. And I think I need to come up with some sort of like formula for like how tall my tripod needs to be, what angle everything needs to be at, and like somehow like write it down or memorize it in some way so that I don't have to faff for so long every time I want to film something in my office. And if I had been getting on with my job for most of this year, I probably would have already cracked this, but as I've told you, I've really dropped the ball, and so I've not filmed anywhere near as much as I should have done, and therefore I still haven't worked out the best places to film in my office. So that is something I'm going to tackle later today. Also, while I was filming that, I couldn't find my loafers, and then I remembered that my loafers, I'd just left them in the car after the weekend away, and that is exactly the sort of thing that I need to get out of the habit of doing. Like, I couldn't be bothered to carry them up, so I just went, I'll deal with that later. And then because of that, I couldn't find the shoes that I wanted when I was getting dressed this morning, and then I had to put Docs on, and then I walked down to the car in my Docs and then changed into my loafers when I got to the car. It's so silly, like, things like that. That's exactly what I'm trying to nip in the bud. But anyway, we've done it now, and everything's fine. But I don't know whether I'll use that reel or not. I'm going to look through it when I get home and try and figure it out. But yeah, I really need to figure out like a filming formula for that room. I did at one point film in the opposite direction, and that worked better because the tripod was sort of in the hallway rather than in the office. But the problem is then I can't film in natural light because of where the window is. It would look like really side lit, so I would only be able to film at night with like a ring light. Things that should not be as complicated as they are, but lighting really bothers me. Like, I always want really good lighting when I'm filming. I feel like it makes such a difference, and it's just really frustrating that I feel like that room has so much natural light, and it's brilliant for like filming sit down videos and stuff. Like the fact that yesterday I was able to film that advent calendar video. I'm hoping to film another one today because actually the Bobby Brown one arrived yesterday. The fact that, yeah, I was just able to sit there and film that without having to set up a load of lights or anything like that, it was amazing. But I just have not cracked the like formula for when I want to do something standing up yet. I know it is a very minor problem, but it's just like something that I need to sort out because it shouldn't take me as long to set a camera up to film something as it does, basically. But anyway, I'm looking forward to a nice brunch. Brunch has arrived, as has Hannah. I can't believe we finally made it to brunch. I was just telling them we've been trying to do this for so long. We have, but we are here, and I've got egg royale. What have you got?
This is a breakfast brioche, and like that is, I think that's cheese, and I cannot wait to
It looks so good. That was so lovely and really nice to catch up with Hannah. And while I've been out, I've just found out that Charlie has actually got a job that was his like best case scenario job that we were really hoping he would get, and he had an interview for it weeks ago. So we've been waiting with bated breath to find out, and he got it. So I popped at M&S on my way home, and I've got him a little card and some donuts so we can have a cup of tea and say well done, because that is absolutely fantastic news. 2 cups of tea, 2 donuts, and one big sleigh. I've been at home for several hours now, and I've done a lot actually. I've filmed another advent calendar, I've done a load of emails, I've sorted through some contracts, you know, big business girl. And now it's time to go out again, so I've got my silly little red leather jacket on, and actually I've upgraded myself to a red lip, which is one of the ones that I got in the MAC advent calendar yesterday. And I'm actually loving this shade this year. Normally for Christmas I go for a much bold, like not bolder, but like brighter, more like peppermint red. Although, do you think this makes my teeth yellow? Maybe, but it's called PDA. And I think it's very like on trend, you know, like burgundy's really on trend. God, I'm so on trend right now, guys. Let's go out. I've just arrived in Central to go to a little meeting. Charlie is coming to Central as well. What are you off to do?
I am going to go and try the 0.0 Guinness, and apparently there's only one place in London that has it on draft, so I'm going to go into it.
You enjoy your alcohol-free beers and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
I've learned Guinness is a stout.
Very proud.
Thank you. Are you on TikTok?
I might film a little TikTok, you know.
Slay. And I'm actually also going to film with a beverage. You'll find out what that is in a minute. I've swapped Charlie for Jess.
And I'm way better looking.
And now,
Actually, when I snuck up on them and I saw them kiss.
Gross. And we are now on our way. Basically, if you watch these vlogs regularly, you will know that next week is our final ever Girlies IRL event. We are hosting a theatre trip to go and watch Mean Girls on the West End. There are like 50 of us going. It's going to be super fun. There are actually still a few tickets left.
It's actually going to be fetch, not fun.
It's going to be fetch, sorry. And we wanted to arrange like a meeting point for it, and then we remembered that Grind, the like funky London coffee shop, have a collaboration with Mean Girls. So we got in touch with them and we asked if they might be interested in being our meeting point, and they have provisionally said yes. So we're now going to go in and have a little chat with them about what we need, what we're after, and I want to try their pink coffee.
I want to try it as well. I don't think I've ever tried a coffee that isn't like a latte with some syrup in it,
yeah,
or a cappuccino. Like I never any fun ones, just bog standard.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's there. I don't know what the flavour of it is, but I do know that it's pink and it's Mean Girls themed, so I'll have it.
That's all I need to know.
So this is the downstairs area that is going to be our space. It feels so surreal to be doing our last one. We're going to do so much dancing.
I start singing, but actually, I always try to sing Legally Blonde and not
That is not the right musical,
but
Jess.
It is pink.
It is.
My brain went pink musical.
Legally Blonde. And it turns out that actually the Mean Girls drink that we thought they did was like a one-off for an event that they did. Yeah. And guess what? They're bringing it back for us. Yeah.
We're special.
So next stop of the day, we've moved on to a Joan Jewellery event, and look at this little illustration. The artist is called, well, on Instagram she's called by Natasha Joseph. I actually love this. I feel like I look like Rizzo from Greece.
Oh, you do a bit. You look very like cool and sassy.
I'm cool and sassy. We've moved into like the next room. We've got a ceiling full of balloons, and look at all of these. Basically, we're doing like vision boards, and they've got all of these strips with like different things on. So this says, "Your next chapter is going to be amazing." And that's what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, and I have just stolen one from here that says, "I'm creating the life of my dreams," and it's not going to plan
next year.
Yeah,
we were just having a chat on the bus. This year's been awful all round for us.
We're getting it figured out.
We are.
And 2025 is going to be the life of my dreams, apparently.
And as we said to our friend who was going through a really nasty breakup a while back, sometimes you have to shed so you can slay.
Yeah.
And we've decided that this is our shedding year, so the next year we can slay. So your next chapter is going to be amazing. Sounds pretty good.
I feel like that is a really spot on one for us.
Yeah, I think so.
Good place to start.
What's this one? Enjoy the space between where you are and where you're going. That's lovely. I think I prefer this one.
Yeah, no, the other one is a bit more fitting.
Yeah. Okay, I think I have finished my vision board, so because the bracelet is now too heavy. So on this side, I've got a little unstoppable bracelet. This is from Joan Jewellery, which is where we are now, and it's gold and silver, which is mostly why I picked it, because as you guys know, I really can never decide between the two. Then, as I showed you earlier, your next chapter is going to be amazing. I've got this cute little picture of me and Abby on a brand trip, the outfit from today, this picture of me and Maria, mostly just because I really like our outfits in this photo. Then I've got another one here that says, "Be proud of how far you've come and imagine how far you can go," and I think that's really good to remember kind of both sides of that. Picture of me and Jess from last week. And then this is a Taylor Swift lyric, "Today is never late to be brand new." And that is my vision board, and Jess is nearly falling off the chair. Show me your photos then.
So, me and Maria.
Cute.
Me and Amy.
And Craig David.
And Craig David, yes. And then me and Abby.
Cute.
Craig David isn't in this one.
No.
But he's actually in this one.
He is.
Right there. Yeah. You can't really see him, but it's sort of the centre of the couch.
Jess, I wanted Jess to print off the picture of her and Peter Andre, but she didn't.
Because it's such a weird angle of me. I'm like leaning backwards, I'm holding a fan in front of me, but it looks like I'm holding a microphone and then Peter Andre's behind me, and it's just a bit weird. But my mum loved the photo, and I think that's all that matters really.
I love the photo as well. We've just been told apparently the prettiest cake in the world is over here because it's Joma's 16th birthday. This is basically a sweet 16 party for a jewellery brand.
Love that.
Yeah, this
love
is my favourite sweet 16 party I've ever been to.
Is it also the only one?
I had one.
Did you? That doesn't surprise me about you actually.
It was at the Assembly House.
Oh, that really doesn't surprise me about you.
And I wore a rose gold dress.
Have you got pictures?
I have, yeah.
Okay, I want to see a show and tell at some point. That sounds great.
Oh wow, that is a very pretty birthday cake. I wonder what flavour it is. Good morning everyone. I absolutely love to be dressed like this at 9 AM on a Wednesday. I've got a lot to pack in today. My main task being 2 different campaigns that I'm working on for Instagram. This one that I'm doing at the moment is for Elomi, which is an underwear company, and they've kind of set me a bit of a challenge of styling bras as like part of outfits. So I've got 3 bras, they're all black, but I'm styling them 3 different ways. I'll show you what I've come up with for the first one. Please ignore the absolute state of my office, but it's this really cool bra with like straps here, and then I've put it on with a mesh top and a sequin skirt and some like big silver jewellery, and I think that looks quite cool, like for a Christmas look or something.
Just call me an influencer. I've just got my first ever influencer bag.
I haven't actually vlogged in a while. I don't know when I last filmed, but basically, as you guys know, this morning I shot that Elomi campaign, but then it was a bit of a mad rush, got straight in the car and drove to Birmingham. Well, Charlie drove, I was on my laptop, to go to a Harvester event. I'm working with Harvester on Instagram as well. So we're now on our way back from Birmingham to London. Charlie got a goodie bag today and he is buzzing.
Yeah? Oh my god.
Are you going to show them? I actually have no idea what's in there.
So, Harvester are bringing out a new menu. And the new menu includes a whole load of new sauces, a whole load of new things within it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't think I ate anything I didn't like. Some of it was too spicy for me, but I'm a wimp.
You are a big wimp.
But other than that, it was good.
So I got a my first ever influencer goodie bag. So what they are, so I've got 4 different sauces here. So this one is cayenne pepper and maple sauce. Very good. Quite spicy, but very good.
That was your favourite one.
That was my favourite one.
That was a good one.
And then gluten-free hot honey sauce.
Hot honey is everywhere at the minute. Apparently, like most of M&S's Christmas food this year is hot honey flavoured.
Really?
Yeah. So I was quite intrigued to see it there as well. And again, it was good. It was quite spicy. It had a kick, but it was good.
And then the next one is nut-free satay sauce.
This one, as soon as I saw it on the list, I was like, that is a bit of me. And it was my favourite one. I love satay sauce. And it's nut-free, so if you've got nut allergy.
Yeah, so then you can actually taste satay sauce and how good it was.
Yeah.
Which, again, I assume that there's not many places that actually do nut-free satay sauce.
No, I would assume that's quite unusual.
Definitely, I don't know when the new menu is out.
In a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks, so get yourself down there and you can try satay sauce for the first time.
Local Harvester, yeah.
Although it does contain soy, so so there are other allergens if you are allergic to it all, but
donuts.
And then the last one is spicy sweet and sour sauce. I'm not normally a fan of sweet and sour sauce. I normally am the person to sort of leave it on the side, aren't I? Like, I don't really, but...
He eats chicken balls without sweet and sour sauce. I literally could not do that.
Yeah, so that was very good. And then I got a thing of peri-peri sauce, which I'm very happy with.
So.
And then they teamed up with Pepsi. So, I got a little bottle of Pepsi here. New shape, apparently. The guy behind the bar when he was serving it was just really impressed as well with it.
Yeah, he was saying it looks quite like vintage.
Yeah, it does look very vintage, to be fair. And also, I really want to know your opinions, because I always think like Diet Coke, Pepsi Max, anything like that tastes better out of a glass bottle than it does out of a can. My
favourite is Fountain.
Really?
Fountain wins every time for me.
Really? Then I got a Harvester and Pepsi collaboration pen.
That's funny.
And then I got a little bag from them. It's called Savour the Flavour. And
like a box of something Pepsi in there. Oh, sorry. Spoilers.
Yeah. I was excited to
Sorry. Okay, just pretend I didn't say it, I'll edit it out.
And then I got a box from Pepsi.
Oh, what's in there?
So, I can see you guys and going, oh, what's in there? This is the first time that I've also opened it.
Yeah, I don't know what's in there.
So,
imagine if that box was just full of loose Pepsi. Like, inside, you open it up and it's like a river.
I know. Ooh. So, Pepsi notepad.
Slay.
Pepsi lanyard. Shut up.
What's
Shut up. I have Pepsi socks now. Pepsi, I'm your biggest fanboy, by the way. Then I got a Pepsi badge.
That's cute.
Decent. Oh my god, this is very good quality. And I got a Pepsi t-shirt.
That's quite cool. I like the fact that it looks a bit like...
Vintagey.
Yeah.
And then I got a Pepsi tote bag.
God, you are all kitted out in Pepsi, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it was worth the drive to Birmingham, was it?
Consider me a Pepsi fanboy now. I've got a pair of socks from Pepsi and a t-shirt.
On your first day of your new job.
No. But yeah, really cool. My first ever PR package. You know?
You sort of had that fruit pastel lolly one before as well.
Yeah, but this one's directed to me.
Yeah, true.
Like, this bag was given to me.
Handed to you.
Whereas the one was via Amy.
Yeah.
Over the moon. And I don't know what we're going to do when we get home. Do you know what? I said that I wasn't hungry at the services, but I might be hungry when I get home.
But yeah, like we haven't really eaten much today. Well, we ate a lot at Harvester, but like that's the only meal we've eaten.
Yeah. Also, at Harvester, one of my favourite things there was it was a jalapeno and cheese donut.
See, that was really yummy, but too spicy for me.
It was so good.
What I loved, but I really didn't expect, was the cornbread.
Yeah, cornbread's very American, isn't it?
Yeah, I had cornbread with hot honey sauce, and I've never had cornbread before, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, do you know what we have at home? Chicken nuggets!
You do have chicken nuggets at home, yeah. One thing about us, there's always chicken nuggets in the freezer.
What is a home without chicken nuggets?
Well, that is the question.
Yeah. And obviously if you're like vegan or vegetarian, corn nuggets.
I love corn nuggets.
Yeah, I like them when I'm feeling a bit like I don't want any possibility of an upset stomach.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes that you already feel a bit fragile, don't you? And you're like, I don't really want...
I don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the Magic Musicals radio station, because I've been having the time of my life.
Yeah, she has. Well, we were listening to the Taylor Swift version from Capital for a while, and I think because Taylor's
It must have gone
left the UK. Yeah, so that was my first PR package, and yeah, I'm buzzing. It's great
been a
fun.
long journey.
It has been very long.
But here we are.
That's a private jet.
I've got so much cleaning to do when we get back. I'm going to do a quick whiz around because Abby sent me a voice note when I was at the services on the way to Birmingham saying, does Amy Astrid Apartments have any vacancies for one lone woman and her belongings tomorrow? Basically asking if she can stay over, which obviously she can, but my office is currently an absolute dump, so I'm gonna have to clear it up so that there's actually space for one lone woman and her belongings. If not, she can't come in because there's no room.
I can't wait to see Abigail. Haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, I feel like I've not spent much time with Abby lately, so it'll be nice.
But I'm actually quite glad not to be driving up and down from Birmingham probably for the next 5 years.
Yeah, the fact that we drove here at the weekend, and you've never been to Birmingham before, have you?
Never in my life.
And we drove here and back at the weekend, and we've just driven here and back in a day as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wednesday. What have you guys been up to so far this week? I'm sure that we'll probably ask that question at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I'll be interested to know. Anything exciting?
What do you order for pasta?
Yeah, what?
I ordered the barbecue chicken stack.
Oh, I know, every time.
And every single time Charlie's like, Amy, just get something else. And I'm like, but why would you turn down perfection?
Yeah, and then I normally get the steak. Because the steak is very reliable. Should we go to Harvester tonight?
Could do. It's like an eating, you know, like when the YouTubers do like 24 hours eating only McDonald's. It's like that, but Harvester.
Actually, yeah. I mean, actually, no, we've got stuff to do when we get back.
Yeah, true. We've got a lot of cleaning to do for Abigail.
Abigail also vlogs, doesn't she?
She does. She does weekly vlogs. And fun fact, Jessica also vlogs now.
Does she?
She does. She's not posted them yet. But she's been filming weekly vlogs. I've seen them. I've been in them.
Have you?
I have.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like it's going to be the way of the world. I've seen a lot of people starting to get back into.
Yeah, I was also, my friend Hannah that I saw yesterday, she weekly vlogs as well, so I was in her weekly vlog this week. I'm in so many weekly vlogs this week.
So I've been to a couple of events, but I've never been to them where they've been just milling around. And it's the first time when I've...
Wait, what?
Like, as in, we've been able to talk to them, because most of it's like going to theatre and stuff like that. And the first time, I was like, Amy, I really recognise him. I know who that is. Well, I know who it is, but I don't know.
Is that your first time like recognising one of the other like content creators at an event? That's really funny.
And it's amazing. But it's the same as you and Maria. Now that you're best friends, I mean, you followed Maria for years, didn't you?
I did, yeah. When how Maria and I became friends is that I followed her when I lived in Norwich, and then I moved to London and didn't know anyone. But I really wanted to kind of start doing more like fashion posts on Instagram because I thought it looked really fun. And I was tutoring at the time, so my work was mostly in the evenings and stuff. And I messaged her and said, do you ever need anyone to take photos for you? Like, I'd be more than happy to help, and we can kind of do it together. And actually the person that she shot with at the time had literally just gone and got like a 9-to-5 job, so she wasn't available most of the time. Whereas obviously because my job was in the evenings, I was able to help Maria, and then she helped take photos for me, and now we're very good friends.
Yeah. I love you, Pepsi. Today was really cool. I really enjoyed speaking to the development chefs.
Yeah, it was really cool to hear him talk about how they work on all the flavours and stuff.
It's really interesting on how long that they take to develop certain items.
Well, and yeah, what I found interesting as well is that they were like, we keep an eye on what flavours are like popular, and we kind of decide whether we think they're like suitable for the Harvester customer yet, or whether they're still a little bit out there. Because obviously the average Harvester customer is like not particularly experimental necessarily, but likes a good bit of flavour. So like when stuff is brand new in, it seems like they sort of hold off a little bit until it's something that people tend to be like a little bit more comfortable with before adding it.
It's a bit like being in social media, is that you're keeping an eye on trends.
Yeah.
Trends in food and trends in like what tastes are good.
Yeah, well, it was just really interesting to hear them talk about that, because I love finding out about like people's jobs that I would never otherwise have known about. Like, you were listening to the bartender talking about that, weren't you?
Yeah, like
he
was saying that he's been on so many like competitions on bartending.
And he was also saying, someone said to him like, if you what do you think is the test of a good bartender?
Yeah, and he was like a daiquiri.
Yeah, he was like, it's very simple, but you've got the alcohol, the sweet and the sour, and he's like, if you can't make a decent daiquiri, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so interesting, like,
because I go into a bar and I go, one beer please,
Coke,
or
a Pepsi, sorry,
yeah,
Pepsi.
Yeah. You'll have a what?
A Pepsi, sorry, Pepsi Max.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's really interesting to sort of learn more about other jobs, and obviously if you're comfortable to, like, what would you say are the most interesting things that you think that other people don't know about your jobs? Obviously don't kind of divulge too much information on what your jobs are, but I'd be really interested to know things that
That's one of my favourite things about my job, is the fact that through these events and through working with brands, you really do get an insight into so many different industries that I would never otherwise have like a look into, and I just find it really interesting. Hello everyone, long time no speak. I didn't film anything for like the whole of today, but I'm now about to pop out for the evening. I've literally spent the whole day chained to my computer just editing, so that wasn't very interesting. But now, as you can probably tell from my makeup, I'm off somewhere fun. Today is the official publication day of Lucy's book, Rewitched. Look what I've done with my eyes. I've like used the book cover as inspiration because we are now off to the publication day party, which is at like a cauldron bar. I think we're going to be like making cocktails in a cauldron or something. I don't really know the ins and outs, but it sounds really fun. So that's where we're now off to. And I've got myself a snack for the road.
Video girls.
These are the outfits.
Hey girl.
For
hey girl.
A denim mesh dress because the book is apparently quite like 90s coded.
Oh, sick.
So I thought this
well, then
would
I feel
work.
like I've gone quite 90s.
You have.
Cross body shoulder.
Yeah, I think we've done quite well on the matching vibes front.
Yeah.
And my bag was chosen specifically because it is large enough to fit the book in.
Yeah, actually, yeah, me too. Me too. And we're gonna go, Lucy, please, please, please. Oh my god, please, oh my god, please, 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 please. Okay, alright. Fan behaviour.
Let's go. Pizzas with the girls. We've been a bit embarrassing here. We went, yeah, can we have 3 margaritas, please? All with garlic mayo. Maria's got a crazy salad which looks stunning, actually. Oh my god, that is really something. Yeah. We have arrived at the Cauldron Bar with a basket of goodies for Lucy.
Yes, a colour coordinated basket
Yeah,
of goodies
it looks
actually.
very
And she
good.
looked at it and she said, what have you done?
Right, well, what's in here then? It's the question.
Some gourds.
Ooh! Yeah, it's very witchy. This is very on theme.
Oh.
This means, well, it means I'm very bad one, but I don't know what to do with it yet.
She's currently bearing it.
She's
bearing.
It is,
Oh, this is fantastic. Blue.
yeah.
Whoa!
Wow. Oh my god, guys, it was blue.
I'm thinking maybe like a red.
Guys! Confirmed,
magic.
Amy is a witch. Burner now. They're burning all the witches, even if you aren't one.
In case you need anyone's assistance, you put your wand up high, wand bearers, and you twirl it around, and one of us will be here to assist you.
Line me up.
So these are the 2 familiars, and they pour our drinks for us, but we've had to bow to it so that we're not strangers. And now we're pouring our drinks with this magic wand. Does it taste like swap? It literally tastes like swap. Oh my god, apparently it's red wine. Red wine. Red wine.
It sounds really strong, but I mean, it just tastes like I'm gonna do that.
Try it.
Yeah, it's a red wine too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that really does taste.
Yeah.
Do you like our cloaks, by the way? Cloaks.
Oh, yes, and also.
This is actually the second vlog in a row where I've been wearing a cloak. A couple of cauldrons have been delivered. This one's mine because of my allergy. I can't drink from the big cauldron. I've got to have my own.
Oh, she's got her own cauldron, has she?
I have, yeah. It's special treatment. I know. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. Wow.
Wow.
We're now going to the book signing. The book signing means we're going to find Lucy. Here she is! The woman herself! So we decided to get Lucy a little basket full of goodies. She has opened it now, that's why it looks like that. But the like pièce de résistance was this, which Jess has made. I'm actually going to shine a light on it.
And then I will open it so the glass doesn't get in the reflection.
This is like lots of layers. You can see, can you see how 3D that is? Of paper, of the book cover. That is absolutely insane, and it's sparkly.
Yeah, so I used as much glitter as I could without overdoing it.
I don't I can't compute how you did that with your hands.
With a little scalpel and lots of concentration, lots of squinting, and lots of hunching my back.
I love like the texture of her jumper. I know that's a really specific thing to latch
But
on.
that is why I used this paper for like as much of it as I could.
It's so
it's
nice.
like just nice to look at.
And the little leaves. Oh my god, and the little stars.
And then if you
Wow.
compare it to the actual book cover,
Yeah.
which I have right here,
That is mad.
opposite colours, because my paperback is this colour, but the hardback is this colour.
Interesting.
But you can see it's
slay.
identical almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've outdone yourself there, Jessica.
I feel like I have, yeah,
you have. Maria's just made an observation. I just felt the need to share it with you. Could you just repeat yourself?
Nobody ever says, is that dog a man or a woman? They say, is that dog a boy or a girl or a male or a female?
Yeah, and the thing is, why isn't it a man or a woman?
Why isn't it man
I'd say
or a
Paul's
woman?
quite a man.
Yeah, so like if you see a dog, oh, is it a boy? You don't go, is that
a
a man?
Is it because like man, like human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, but it came from the fact that I was talking about Jess's cat before I went to the toilet, and then I came back out and Amy was there, and I said, so where are you going to put him? And Amy didn't know who I was
When do you let him out?
When do you let him out?
Ollie.
When do you let him
schedule.
out?
I let him see his friends once a week.
Yeah,
That's so
but
nice
I
of
was
you.
in fact talking about the cat.
Good morning. Abby and I are currently travelling in convoy to Jess's because she's moving house, and today is the last day that she's got her old flat, so we're helping her move the last of everything over to the new one. I watched a TikTok a couple of days ago where someone was talking about how like favour culture is at a bit of an all-time low because of like capitalism and everyone being too busy trying to survive to help one another. And I find it really interesting. I love learning about things like that. Like, is it sociology? I don't know. Like patterns in human behaviour. I find it fascinating. And obviously the world is a pretty difficult place to live in right now. But I feel so strongly about like showing up for your friends and your family and like the people around you. And obviously if it's one-sided, then that's not really fair. But I think life is so much easier when you know you've got people you can rely on and who you will show up for and then they will show up for you. Like obviously it's not as transactional as that, but I don't know. Life can be like adult life can be lonely enough, you know. So I am definitely that friend who, whenever someone's moving house, I'm like, do you need a hand? Or like, the example that was used in the TikTok that I watched was like, people no longer ask their friends to pick them up from the airport very often. And apparently that used to be much more of a big thing, but now everyone's too busy and everything's too expensive. You can't assume that your friends would be able to afford to take a day or an afternoon out to do that and to, you know, cover the cost of the petrol. Obviously, like, if I got a friend to pick me up from the airport, I would pay for their petrol. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. I love little side quests and I love running errands with people and like stuff like that. And I'm very lucky that my job is flexible enough to allow me to offer that. But yeah, so anyway, off on a bit of a tangent, but I was just thinking about that TikTok this morning. But yeah, so Abby and I are helping Jess move house today. I don't think there's loads to be done. It's just like the last few bits, and we were actually going to hire a van. I was going to be driving a van, guys, but we kind of figured that actually we think between mine and Abby's 2 cars we've probably actually got enough space if we just do a few runs. Amy, Astrid and Abby non-removals at your service. Are you ready for your removal services?
I'm actually really good at removal servicery.
Absolutely.
Really good. I
Do you know what, actually, if I know anyone who's going to be good at removals, it's probably you.
Yeah, all right.
Abby is so like quick at everything she does. She just really gets the job done.
I do, because the thing is, I don't want to spend any more time than I have to doing that task, so I make it a race,
Yeah.
and therefore it just gets done.
I feel like that's the energy we need today.
Come on in. This is what we're moving here. And the thing is, it doesn't look very organised, but I have explained to the girls, I did that on purpose because I figured if I packed it all into big boxes, we're not going to be able to lift it. We're not big and strong enough to do that. Like when we had movers come and help for the first run of stuff, they were men who like move stuff every day, so are obviously quite strong. So I really packed the boxes full.
Yeah.
So there was less to carry, but it was heavier. But now, this time around, I've gone more to carry, but more manageable for the girlies.
Listen, I think it's important to know your limits.
That's the thing. I'm all for men and women being equal until it comes to me having to lift heavy stuff and not wanting to fight like that.
Yeah.
I can't lift heavy stuff.
No, me
so
neither.
it looks a bit of a mess, but I do actually think that's going to help us squeezing it into the car rather
Yeah,
than
you're
doing
probably
it in the
right.
van.
Right.
I actually don't think, other than obviously my mustard locker,
Yeah.
which probably can't have much else around it, but I think
Let's
I
do
want
that
to-
in the second
I want
run,
to do
shall we?
that probably with some of the clothes bags, so they're like
Yeah.
soft to like
Yeah.
squidge it in. But actually looking at it, I don't think it's going to take as many runs as I originally thought it would in the
No.
car. When we were
two
discussing
cars.
yesterday,
Yeah.
I thought, oh god, in the car it's going to take ages. But now that I actually have it in front of me, by the time we've squished it in,
I really don't think it will.
it's not
Right.
going to be loads.
Shall we just load them up and see
Yeah.
where we're at
Yeah,
then?
so are we doing 2 cars at a time, or are we just
Might as
doing
well
one?
do 2
or
cars this time.
I didn't even think about it. We've got a bit of a production line going. It's basically, there's like steps immediately outside Jess's old house. So I'm out of breath, moving everything to the front door, and then Jess is moving it up the steps, and then Abby's loading it into the car. Work smarter, not harder. Bags of wood?
Bags of wood.
Why?
Bulky.
Ah, yeah, okay, fair enough. To be fair, we've made a big dent with that.
Oh yeah, that looks way better already. I reckon that's
That's one car loaded. That's an efficiently packed car.
Yeah,
Oi,
it is.
AA removals.
Absolutely.
Except it's AJ at the minute.
Yeah, it is OJ at the minute.
Yeah, AJ.
Right, the moving is done and it's now just before 12. So I'm going to try and squeeze in filming an advent calendar before we have to go. Charlie and I are going to his family home this evening. Okay, it's a couple of days later now. My camera died, which is why it stopped very abruptly, but we've been at Charlie's family home for the last couple of days and we have just got back to London. And I'm just trying to figure out how to spend the evening because, if I'm being honest, I still feel quite overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I still have to do. The flat is a mess, and while my sentiment of doing things that benefit my future self, I feel like I have done quite well at doing that for some of this week, but I think my backlog is so big that it's going to take a while to clear. So I just feel generally quite overwhelmed. But basically, as you guys know, well, I have mentioned it several times, I've spent most of this week working on this advent calendar content, which obviously can only really happen once a year because in September that is when all the advent calendars come out. So they've all been going live on my beauty channel. I've put 3 up this week. They've taken like a whole day each. And I have just had a parcel which could be another advent calendar because there's a couple that I'm waiting on, and if it is, I think the best thing I can do for my future self is give up my Sunday night to film this so that they don't take over another week, because next week's really busy. We've got the last ever Girlies IRL event, my sister's coming to stay. I think this is another advent calendar. It is, oh, it's the Rituals one and it smells incredible. Look. Okay, fine. Right, in that case, I better put some makeup on. Okay, so why am I so red? I don't know. But anyway, I've just redone my hair, and actually the other day I had a comment on one of my weekly vlogs from a couple of weeks ago asking if there was a tutorial anywhere of how I do my autumn makeup, and there isn't because I don't really feel like I'm that good at makeup, so I don't really think I have anything useful to say. But I do have a routine that I quite like and that I have been sticking to for a while, so I thought I'd just walk you through it while I'm getting ready to film. By the way, the time is now like 6 o'clock and this vlog needs to go live at like 7 o'clock. So if you are watching this pretty much as it came out, please know that while you've been watching this, I've been filming my advent calendar video. Anyway, we're starting off with MAC Studio Radiance primer. I like a primer that is nice and hydrating, and I find this one really good. I also have the MAC Studio Fix primer in my makeup bag for when I want to do like a slightly heavier look, but for every day I really like the Studio Radiance one. I actually have a YouTube video on my beauty channel. I don't know why I'm talking about the beauty channel so much this week. I literally haven't uploaded it. I literally haven't uploaded to it for like nearly a year up until all the advent calendar this week. But I have a video on there where I tried both of the primers to see which one I preferred. So if you're interested in seeing how they both perform, you can head over there. I'll link all these products in the description, just in case any of you are interested. I then use, so my philosophy is drugstore concealer, high-end foundation. I've always done it like that, I don't know why. But so I use this, I think this is Rimmel. Yeah, it's called the Multitasker Concealer, and I think it's a bit of a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape, which I've never actually used. But I always think, like, with my concealer, I just go for something really full coverage. And I use quite a lot of concealer, to be honest. So then I go over any spots that I've got, or any, like, I also get really red, like, down here. So yeah, for concealer, I just sort of go for, like, maximum coverage. And I don't worry too much about, like, finish. But yeah, I really like this concealer actually. I will probably repurchase it once it runs out. Although a lot of this makeup, I'm really on a makeup buying ban at the minute, because I mean, it will come as a surprise to no one that my makeup collection is giving hoarder. So I am on a buying ban, that unless I genuinely run out of stuff in a certain category, I'm not allowed to buy anything else. So when my concealer runs out, I will have to, like, check to see if I've got any other concealers kicking about before I go and repurchase. But I would happily repurchase. Oh, I've actually put so much concealer on that I've pretty much covered my face in it. But anyway, I've been really enjoying a thinner layer of foundation lately. I used to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. I literally used that for like 3 years, and then one day I was looking at myself in the mirror and it just gave me the ick. It was way too heavy. But so I've started using this, the Clinique Even Better Clinical Serum Foundation. It's got an SPF in it, but I don't really use enough for the SPF to work anyway. And it is in the shade CN28 Ivory. And when I don't have any fake tan on, like now, I find this is the closest foundation to my natural skin tone I have ever found. So I've literally just done like one pump over my whole forehead, and then just depending on the day, like sometimes I use one pump, sometimes I use 2 for my whole face. And also I've stopped using a beauty blender because it was giving me the ick. Because they always just look so dirty and they smell weird. And this new one that I have literally started smelling weird after like 2 uses, and I was like, nah, something's wrong. Like, I just don't want to put bacteria all over my face, you know, especially with all the eye issues I've had. So anyway, I've started using this brush. It is by B, which I think is Superdrug own brand maybe. And I like that it's quicker. Now, if I'm doing my makeup quickly, I'll then go straight to translucent powder. But if I'll do the full works for you guys. Then I use this Be Perfect Cosmetics Shape Stick. This is in the shade Latte. And it is a really good like contour shade for me. And the reason I like using sticks like this is because I feel like you can just get like a really good, like, you have a lot of control over where it ends up. Whereas I find with powder, sometimes I surprise myself. It looks way like harsher than I want it to or something. Whereas a stick like that is much more forgiving, but I don't like it when they're too orangey. Like Clinique have one that I used to use when I worked there, and I was never the biggest fan. I love the formulation, but they only do it in one shade, in the like contour stick shade, and it was just too orangey for my skin tone. So yeah, I do that under like my cheekbone. I kind of contour with it, to be honest. So you want like the shape of 3 like this, and then I also do my nose just because I feel like it makes my nose look a little bit more snatched. Then I use this Milk Makeup lip and cheek stick in the shade Work with an E. And to be honest, more is more with this stuff. I feel like blush is really like on trend at the moment, so I just really overdo it with the blush, to be honest. I know a lot of people put blush on their nose nowadays. It's not really something I can get on board with. I feel like it makes my face like a weird shape, so I don't do that, but I definitely do go a bit overboard on the cheeks, like that. And then it's translucent powder time. I'm not precious about my translucent powder, but this is one by Revolution in this big tub. It has lasted me literally years, and it's so well used that literally all of the branding has rubbed off. But I think it cost me like £3 or £4, and it just does the job. I am like really snobby about certain parts of my makeup routine, like my foundation and my eyeshadow and my eyeliner. I will pretty much exclusively use like high-end products, because I feel like you actually really can tell the difference. A lot of the time with those, you do get what you pay for. But then there are certain other steps where I've tried high-end, I've tried drugstore, and if I can't really notice much of a difference, then I'm not going to splash out on paying high-end prices. Next up, I've got this MAC bronzer. This is the Gimme Sun bronzer, I think. I might have made up the Gimme Sun thing, I can't see that on it. But it's this kind of colour. At some point, I think I must have accidentally used a wet brush on it, because it's got like a weird texture where some of the product got wet at some point. God knows how I managed that. Maybe it was just after I cleaned my brushes or something. But I always take whatever was left over on the brush. This is the brush that I got with it. I always use whatever was left on the brush on my nose. And then I just go in over the top of the stick, just with a tiny bit of product. A little bit of product goes a really long way with this. But basically the aim is just to like warm my face up a little bit so I look a bit less like a moon. Like a flat white shape. Just give a little bit of dimension, a little bit of health, you know, and I take it down my neck as well. And then you leave this open because we're coming back to this later. Then I use a blush. At the moment I like quite a cool toned blush, which is funny actually because a lot of my makeup is quite warm toned, but I'm using this. This is actually a discontinued MAC blush from their Whitney Houston range, and I also am about to use a discontinued MAC lipstick from the Whitney Houston range as well. So I can't link either of those, but my other favourite autumnal lipstick / lipstick for all year round is the Clinique Pop Matte lipstick in the shade Blushing Pop, which is number 1. I don't have it to hand, but that's the one I'll link in the description. It's quite a similar shade to this, but I feel like it's a very good Your Lips But Better shade for me. Then I use this Kiko highlighter. Highlighters literally last me like decades. I've had this for so long, I'm actually getting quite bored of it now, but it's just like a pinky shade. And it just gives me a nice little glow. And oh, I normally do my lipstick after that, so I put a little bit on my Cupid's bow, and then I take my ring finger and I put the same shade on the inner corner of my eyes. And one thing that I'm really enjoying at the moment is using shades that I already have on my face to do my eyes, because I think it makes it look a little bit more natural. Yeah, this is the Kiko Gold Waves highlighter in shade 2, by the way. And then it's on to brows. So for brows, I use Benefit products mostly. This is not a Benefit brush, I don't know where I got this, but I use the Benefit Pomade Brow Pomade and the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. And I always fluff them up a little bit with the spoolie end of this first, but to be honest, my natural brows are practically non-existent. These have been dyed, so I basically have to create them for myself because my hair is obviously so dark, but my brows are so fair. So I always do like the bottom line of my brows first, but I try not to do too harsh a line because this isn't 2012. So I just sort of follow the natural shape of my eyebrows with a little bit of product on the brush, like only a tiny bit. And that, yeah, like I said, I do the bottom line first so I get the shape in, and then I kind of work my way upwards, because I feel like I want the most concentrated product on like the bottom side of the brow. As you can see, I really try not to overdo it. Some days I do by accident, but I really make an effort to make my brows quite subtle, unless I'm doing like really heavy eye makeup or something. Then sometimes I might go a bit bolder with them. I definitely get like brow blindness sometimes, and I definitely had it when I was younger, really badly, and I'm still guilty of it now, every now and again. See, that one's a lot stronger than the other one, so now I'm gonna have to kind of fill this in a little bit. This is actually how it happens. I start off with the best intentions and then get a little bit heavy-handed. They're right. And then I just take this 24-hour brow setter and set them in place. I love this stuff. I just feel like it makes them look a bit fluffier, and it kind of makes them look a bit more natural, like I haven't just completely drawn them onto my face, which I have. Today we're going to do, this is like the most basic eye look that I do. I often use like 3 or 4 eyeshadows, but lately I've been really enjoying just using my bronzer that I use on the rest of my face on a big fluffy brush, and literally creating a bit of a kind of cat eye shape. So I start off just on my kind of eye socket bone, create a bit of a shape like that, and then drag it out a little bit just so there's no harsh lines at all. And then I go under the eye, buffing, so there's no harsh lines, preferably in a circle motion if you've got space to. Certain parts of my eyes I can do that and certain parts I can't. And then I just pack some product onto the actual eyelid itself. You don't really need to worry about blending that because obviously all the edges are already blended. And so that's kind of how it looks before I put any eyeliner or mascara or anything on. And I like the fact that it is actually the same tones as like the bronzer that I've got over the rest of my face, and I just think it kind of ties everything together really well. I used to be really self-conscious about having small eyes, and I still am quite, by creating a little bit of shape around my eyes with this. Makes me feel a little bit more confident. That's kind of even on both sides-ish. Now I use an eyeliner. The one that I use religiously is the Clinique. Oh, they've changed the name of it. It's all rubbed off. This used to be called the Clinique Pretty Easy Liquid Liner. I think it is now called the Clinique High Impact Liquid Liner. It's the only liquid liner they do, and it's like a pen like this. Every single time I veer away from this eyeliner, I regret it and immediately come back. Like, there's been quite a few times where I think I really don't need to spend that much money on an eyeliner because it's probably my most repurchased product, and I try something cheaper, or I try something that lots of people are raving about. And what I do first of all is create a bit of a shape of a wing. So I always do the bottom line first and then the top line of the wing, and then I just sort of connect it all up. So I then decide where I want it to start, so here, and then drag it to meet that top line, fill in any gaps. But eyeliner can smell fierce, so it's important to do like long strokes rather than lots of little ones. There we go. Yeah, I have tried all the drugstore eyeliners. I've tried all the like trending eyeliners, the viral ones, the ones that everyone raves about. I've never heard anyone else rave about this Clinique one. Genuinely, nothing else has the same, like, it just goes on so easily, and I've never had that with any other one. They leak everywhere, or they smudge, or I don't like the brush, or it runs out really quickly, or like insert every problem here. This eyeliner, I'll probably use this eyeliner until I die. Okay, that's my liner done. It's really hard to do on camera, and they are definitely sisters, not twins. I curl my lashes, and then I use a Benefit mascara, either FanFest, although I don't like this one as much. My favourite one is Bad Gal Bang, but they are both pretty good to be fair. And I put this on my top and bottom lashes. I've just really messed that up because I'm trying to do this in a rush. For years I wore false lashes like every day, and I don't know what's happened to me in the last like year, but I am just too lazy now. It actually might be these vlogs because I feel like I can be a little bit more relaxed and I don't have to like turn up Instagram ready, even though there's no such thing, but you know what I mean. I still put on false lashes sometimes if I'm going out in the evening or like to something fancy, but for every day now I just can't be bothered. And yeah, that is my like everyday makeup look at the moment. I hope you enjoyed that. I really don't feel like I'm qualified to be giving makeup advice, but let me know if you learned anything. Like I said, I'll link the products in the description just in case there's anything you're after. And I'm gonna end the weekly vlog there. I need to quickly edit you and get you online so you guys can watch while I film this advent calendar video 4 of the week. Thank you so much for watching this weekly vlog. I can't believe we're on week, is this 35? I think it is. Let me know what you've been up to this week in the comments, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys.